Hello everybody, NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers, and I'm not. Just the darling old man. Here is a video on the spotting a page and a couple things that may help you or make life a little easier for you or bore you. But I'll throw it out here just so you get an idea. If you're an active hunter and you want to chase all the activators out there, and you're in a DX country, you are in a DX country, you're not in the United States, but you don't want to listen to the United States, okay, you can go to one of the tabs on the left-hand side, and you see the spotting page there, and then look on your right-hand side, and it'll be for all the entities, countries, Ks, alphas. All the different countries have a three-letter, generally speaking, or two-letter, generally speaking, prefix. And you can eliminate, let's say, now again, you're in DX, you don't want all the United States, which I doubt, but anyways, you can eliminate it. And if you're in the United States and you don't want to see Japan and so forth because you can never get there, wrong thought, but anyways, you can eliminate it, okay? Many of us activators and hunters alike set up the spotting page that's comfortable for us. Some of it set it up by frequency. I always set it up by frequency for myself because it runs from 40 meters on up to 10 meters, up to 6 meters when there's activity. But the reason I do that is because when I'm scanning the band for myself, I'm going to work everybody on 40 that I can. Then I'm going to work everybody on 20 that I can. Then I'm going to work everybody on 17 and 15 and 12 and 10 and 6. And if I'm out someplace where there's 2 meter activity, I'm going to look for them, but it'll put it in that sequence. So if you set it up, your tab up to organize them, I guess is the term, by frequency, okay, that will keep you busy on one frequency at a time, yes, but give you an opportunity. Remember, when you work somebody, spot them. Spot them. I can't repeat that enough. If you, unless they tell you not to spot them, go ahead, spot them. A nice gesture. 5-9 November Charlie. Thanks for the contact. If you know there's 3 operators, a little note, 3 operators here. If you know their part numbers, put it in. As an activator, I don't have time. That's a lousy excuse for me. But as new activators, brand new activators, it's a struggle sometimes because they may be in a park, they're not getting any internet. Or their internet is so flaky. So you as the hunter spotting them generate more activity for them. So as a hunter, you're appreciated. Now, if you want to set yours up as by time, every time somebody new comes on, then by time, it will put that call sign, that park, and so forth in front of you, and you'll be bouncing all over the bands. Okay? You'll be bouncing all over the bands. But if that's what you want to do, you can't. Just remember that. Now, if you set it up in the mode section for all, that's going to give you FTA, PSK31. It's going to give you CW. It's going to give you phone. And every spot that comes up will be listed there. Myself, this is just me. I predominantly stay on phone. I don't go FT8, not my cup of tea. I do very little CW because my abilities to hear as I get younger in life suck. So I try to do it with local people that I know or people that I'm very familiar with their fist and able to copy them. But you can set it up to listen just to CW. You can set it up just to listen to phone. You can set it up just to listen to 2 meters, if I'm not mistaken. But the point being, you don't have to set it up to all. And if you're going to stay on sideband predominantly, leave it just in sideband, SSB. Or if you're going to stay on CW because you're activating in CW, or that's what you like is strictly CW, you can set it up that way. So any activity that shows up in CW for POTA is there. Let's talk about DX a moment. Many times over, DX stations will spot, and I'm going to use 40 meters for an example. They'll spot on 40 meters just outside of our US band privileges. Sending them a nastygram, hey, can you come to stateside bands? More than likely, if they're DX on 40 meters, they're not going to be able to normally, because propagation we don't control, normally they will not probably worry about you in the States, in the stateside band plan, because where they are at in their country, their band plan allows them to operate there. So if you don't hear them, you got a couple options. Leave your frequency, leave your dial on their frequency and rotate your beam and see what happens. But sometimes you're going to find somebody in the States operating on the same frequency, but they're in another country. And both activators are not hearing each other. So don't get upset and say, well, somebody's already using that frequency. 8,000 miles away, yeah, they're using it. But it's not being heard here. Normally, a great activator will be one who will go to the spotting page, look at the frequencies that are already spotted. That doesn't mean that they're hearing any activity there, but are already spotted, and they will try to be offside of it. And some don't. When the bands get crowded, it gets tough. You don't believe this can happen, but it will happen to you someday. You will work two operators in two different parts of the country on the same frequency and get exchange with both of them because neither one of them hear the other party, but everybody is working them. And what happened is one may have spotted and never seen the spotting page and continued on. The next operator may have seen the spot but don't hear anything for the last 8, 10, 12 minutes, so I'm going to take over the frequency. Next thing you know, the band changes and you have two people on the same frequency activating different parts at the same time, and it does happen. And nastygrams on Facebook about you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that, or stupid emails to somebody saying, hey, there's reasons out in the field, especially hunters if you haven't been out there, and you should realize that being a hunter, when band propagation changes and you had somebody 5'9" and they're 2'2", and that's less than 10 seconds from your transmission. things change out in the field, and they can't hear each other. They can't handshake each other. That spotting page is very important to the activators. It's very important to you as a hunter. For those of you that have beams or rotatable, it's awesome because you can pick up a lot of DX countries most of us that are on compromised antennas aren't going to hear. So keep that in mind, and you may see a Japanese station spot and you wonder why they're spotting on the spotting page. Because that's what the spotting page is for. Not just for the United States, not just for Canada, not just for Germany, not just for England, not for France or the Bahama Islands. The spotting page is for all of us, very seriously. And I wish more people would support the activators in going out and just putting a nice little spot on there. It doesn't have to be a book. It could be just a 5-9 November Charlie Mobile. That's it. If I'm stationary in the Mobile, and that's how I operate a lot, I'm in the Mobile now doing this. Take the time and support your activators. Now I'm going to put a attaboy, and I don't know how many of my YouTube followers, and I always love followers to join. I don't give you anything except me, myself, and I, but I want to thank from myself. I'm going to personally thank you folks. Those gift cards for coffee, that little bill stuck in between for coffee or gas. I don't want to call anybody's call signs out because that's not what I'm trying to do. But I want you folks to know you're appreciated for what you do for activators like me. And in talking with several activators, there are several who have been blessed because it does cost a little bit of money to go out and drive an hour or 2 hours or 2 states away or whatever. But it's our fun. It's our hobby. Again, guys and gals, that spotting page is an awesome tool. Utilize it, practice it, play with it, see what works for you. Remember, my way is not your way. Whatever functions you want to set up, adjust it for you. That's why they've given us so many opportunities on that page on how to make it work for us individually. May God bless you. I hope to hear you on the air. The good Lord has given me another sunrise. The doctor's given me a good cancer report that's clear, CT, so I can go out and have one less mind strain or whatever you want to call it. There's not much left up there anymore. 73's NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers. Oh, I'm not. Just Dom, darling old man.